Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tyrone Dukes here with iManagement Solutions. I have my fabulous co-host, Loida Figueroa, and we have an awesome guest on this evening, Eva Siguil with Siguil Financial Services. Welcome.
Thank you
Woo!
for having me. Thank you.
Awesome. So, Eva, we thank you very much for being present with us on today. We know that you're going to share a wealth of knowledge, wealth of financial knowledge with our audience today, and we're going to be able to provide them with some power pack information. And so that's why we brought you on because you're the individual that we want speaking to our audience. You have that wealth of financial information that they can use to enhance their lives, enhance their businesses, and really be able to make some critical decisions in their life. So we thank you very much for being on this show today. Thank you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
All right. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get started with the first question here. And that first question, Eva, is that when consumers think about life insurance, they only think about using it as a death benefit. But what are some other ways that life insurance can be used?
Yeah, so um, there are some living benefits to life insurance policies. For the one that I offer, there is what we call a living benefit rider, which is basically just allowing the person, if they are chronically or terminally ill, to use that policy for medical expenses or for other needs to be able to take care of what they need to take care of, in those really critical times. So I do like to say that it's really important for people to understand that life insurance is mostly for the family being left behind, so it's a death benefit, but there are some other things like disability benefits that we have in mind as well, and the living benefit for chronically and terminally ill clients as well.
Awesome, awesome.
Mhm.
Because that's one of the reasons why people are sort of like hesitant to purchase life insurance because
Yeah.
no one really thinks that they're going to die, right? We will die, but
Mm-hmm.
some men, of course, we think that we're invincible. So we're
Right.
sort of like hesitant or kind of push back on purchasing life insurance. But ladies and gentlemen, just like she said, that there are some living benefits to this life insurance policy that you can take advantage of right away,
Mm-hmm.
so that we encourage you to basically, if you do not have life insurance, purchase it. Contact Eva and she will take care of you. So, what
Yes.
we're going to do is navigate into the second question. Eva, I just noticed that, there's a trend out there in the market today, especially during a pandemic, where people are actually failing to purchase life insurance. And so what they're doing is supplementing their, any life insurance policy with GoFundMe. So they're not
Mm-hmm.
purchasing life insurance, but they're depending on GoFundMe's to raise money and bury their loved ones. Kind of talk to
Yeah.
us about, why that's really a bad idea to take a look at.
Yeah. So a GoFundMe is not a life insurance policy, guys. So let's just get that very, very clear, right? I think that especially in our Hispanic families, a lot of people, especially men, have a hard time even asking for help. So it's even with the GoFundMe route, it's it's not something that a lot of men do in our households. But the reason why it's not the right route to go is because of the fees. So yes, you will go and have people contribute to that, but GoFundMe will take their own fees on the initial lump sum, and they will take fees on everything that comes in little amounts as well, right? So that's one big thing. The next thing is it's just not sufficient. It's not enough to carry on for the family, the entire family. So life insurance, a lot of people think, is just for the death benefit, but it's not. It's to be able to replace the income of the families. And a GoFundMe can't raise a sufficient amount of like 100, 200, 300, 500,000 that person was bringing in every year or every 5 years or every 10 years. So it's a temporary fix, but at the end of the day, it's nothing compared to life insurance, because the amount that you're going to get in a policy, just paying a little premium every month, instead of asking for people to donate to a fund and not be able to get enough for, for the future, it's just not comparable. So that's why it's not really a great idea.
When I think about that, I think about Loida, right? Let's just use, for example, we know how valuable Loida is. And Loida, let's just say you didn't have a life insurance policy and you passed away. Just, Loida, talk to us about that. Loida, that's just mind blowing to imagine
Mhm.
Loida passing away without a policy, knowing the value that she brings to her family, even the value that she brings to
Mhm.
this show. Just, Loida, talk to us about that aspect.
Well,
Mhm.
I think it's extremely important and valuable when you have a network as powerful as the one that I have with individuals such as Tyrone, such as Eva, that are able to hold you accountable to the things that you need in order to build wealth. So it's not just the policy that is an essential part of, that value, that we all have, but it's the wealth management, the wealth building. Everybody wants to be wealthy, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of mental and spiritual capacity to remove your ego, remove yourself, and be able to build a structure of cohesion with, the people that you decide to associate with in order to build that wealth. Because you can't do it by yourself. You have to have the right people around you, keep the right, support system and the right network, So there are, one person may be really good at going to the gym and having that gym body. And then there may be another person in your network that knows about, financial services, that knows about insurance, like Eva. And so, you know, being able to bring together these pieces in order to build that is essential, not just for me, which is why I tap into these types of conversations, but it's essential for our community to really hear about those things. And
Mhm.
having somebody like Eva in my corner, in my team, having someone like Tyrone on my team, I think it just enhances and it brings value. So the value that I have is not something that I carry on my own. It's something that I'm able to have because of the people that I, attract into my experience, such as yourselves.
Great, great. Ladies and gentlemen, is Eva just pretty much denoted. With GoFundMe's, it's really hard to replace an income. Again, an
Yeah.
individual like Loida, an individual like Eva passing away, an individual like myself passing away, that would be a detrimental impact if any one of us were to pass away. And just imagine in your circumstances, if you were to pass away, don't just think about the burial aspect of this policy. Think about the value that you bring. And if you were to pass away, your income would pretty much disappear from your family and they would have to replace that. So, again, we're recommending that you contact Eva to pretty much cover yourself with the basics, at least the fundamental basics, to replace your income with, in addition to providing a burial policy to bury yourself. So I'm going to delve into this next
Yes.
question, question number 3. And so this is going to kind of go into a little bit more detail about more financial aspects of this life insurance. So, Eva, other than scholarships and grants, what are some other proactive measures families can implement to financially prepare for their kids' college expenses?
Mhm. Yes, this is a favorite topic of mine because I have two kids of my own. So I understand what it takes to be able to prepare for their future. But I like to say there's a few options that you can go. You can go with just regularly saving at the bank. You could, put money into a trust. There's a few different ways. There's two specific that I like to go. That I like to uh, guide people to, and that's the Coverdell ESAs and the Section 529s, which are two very good investment accounts. And really, the differences between the two are just the way that they're taxed and how much you can contribute into these plans, as well as what route did you want to go with them, and most importantly, if you're going to be using that money for specifically just college or before the child hits college, like for private schools or, just a higher education and all. So there's a few different options within those two specific plans, but the way that they're taxed is very beautiful. And really what I do is lay out a financial plan, to be able to help them on a month by month or year by year basis, or every quarter of the year, to plan out how much they're able to do and what their future goal is, because that's very important to me. A lot of people think that their situation is just going to stay the same, but I'm sure Tyrone and Loya, you guys know that our situations financially change all the time. You can have one job at one point and then have three in the next, right? Especially with the way the economy is going. You could be completely let go of the job you have and start owning your own businesses, right? And so there may be one point where a family can only do 25, 50, 100 a month, but eventually they may be able to do maximum contributions, which could be 6,000 a year or 500 a month or 2,000 a year. So that is really dependent on the plan. All of our plans are customized for the family, but it's a beautiful way to set their sight on what could be in the near future or farther, like in long-term goal. And so that's kind of like what they can do. The best thing they can do is start now, right? Everyone spends $5 a day, $2 a day on something, whether it be coffee, to get something to eat, whatever the case is, right? But the least we can do is spend $1 a day, right? That's $30 a month. And you can do that if you have one child. If you have two, that's $60. And I'm sure, there's a lot of us who spend on shopping and out to eat. So if we can, put a plan together and help as many women and as many men and families, parents, put as much as they can possibly put for their children now, they'll be able to meet that goal in the future. So that's the best thing that I could advise, is just start now. Even if you have $0, still start now. At least get the plan in place, right? Free plan. Look at your expenses, look at what's coming in and what's going out, and then plan for when you're going to start putting in every month for your children's education.
Oh my God. You just shared some power-packed information. Ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, let's go back and just map this out. I want to make sure, because I'm analytical, and I want to make
Mhm.
sure you clearly heard what she just said. She said you can start the plan for free, even if you do not have any money. Because a lot of us, right, we tend to think about, the financial aspects, the financial costs that are going to happen now. We're not thinking long term. So
Mhm.
if you can lock in some of those rates now for college by setting up a Coverdale account
Mhm.
now with Eva, you should do that. You definitely should do that, ladies and gentlemen. And the other thing that she talked about is really planning, looking at your expenses and budgeting and determining what, the amount that you can actually contribute now. I like to drink, bottled water every day. Maybe if I cut back on bottled water and just use regular water or some other water, I can basically eliminate some of those costs, or I can cut back on coffee or whatever and just contribute and pretty much fund my kids' college expenses. Or, forgive me, guys, but, some females, of course, maybe you can cut back on a couple of pair of shoes per week and just contribute that money toward, college
Yeah.
expenses. And us guys who like to purchase, certain gadgets or, maybe certain vehicles, we can cut back on those and just contribute toward the college expenses. Now,
Mhm.
again, contact Eva for this. We're going to delve into this fourth question, because this fourth question is very important. This is strictly talking to our business owners here. This is very important. I want you to pay close attention to this question, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as business owners, it's very important for us to have a life insurance policy to cover us, so that, in the event that, we will depart from this earth, the business can continue to operate without us, right? So in
Mhm.
order for that business to continue to operate without this, we're going to need some type of coverage in place to make sure that it happens. So Eva, tell the audience about Key Man Insurance and what they can do now to get started with such a policy.
Mhm. Okay. So I'll go into, so as far as business owners go, there's a few things that I can do to help with that. You can insure your business, you can insure your business partnerships, and you can insure what we call your key person, which is just a key employee. Okay. So that's really what key person insurance is. We all have, or when you have a business and you have employees in that business, you have that person where you're like, man, if that person goes away, I'm kind of screwed, right? So that's something that allows the business owner to have peace of mind that if something happens to that person, they will have what they need, the resources they need to replace what that person brought in, right? The value that they brought into that business, right? So that's key person. You can ensure your partnership as well, your business partnership, and then of course the business. And there's a lot of different ways that we can go about this for business owners as well, especially for the new and upcoming like small business owners. We also offer legal services to help them, launch them into the right path. And we also give them an education on what to do next, right? Like the LLCs and just a ton of different ways as far as taxes goes. That's where it's the scariest, I understand, for business owners and for entrepreneurs. So I think that's 100% one of the most beautiful things that we do is allow them to get the advice, the education that they need to be able to launch themselves into the direction that they want to go. So our programs start very low as far as like getting a legal service and as far as helping them launch into their future businesses. It usually starts with $75 a month, and I understand that there's a lot of other law firms that do it, but that's in the thousands, guys. So that I think it's a great thing, especially for people like myself. When I started business, I didn't have barely a dime to start, right? I just needed someone to help me. And so I'm able to do that. The law firms that I work with, the other business owners that I am accompanied with as well, are able to help people kind of set the path. And as far as the key man insurance, again, everything is customized, but we just set up a time and date. We sit down, we talk about a plan, what you're looking for, and then we would be able to budget in into the person's finances what works best for them.
Awesome.
Yes. And I gotta say, I have to attest that I have been a Siguil. I am a Siguil Finances client, and I've experienced their customer service. They have the best customer service, and Eva does a great job of being very up on everything that needs to be taken care of for you. And so I love it. I would highly recommend and I trust Eva. Anybody that I send over to Eva, I'm like, you're in good hands. You're in great hands. So
Thank you.
yes. Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Loida said it. If Loida said it, she is phenomenal.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
Loida picks the best and she deals with the best.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Yes. Yes.
So again, Eva just gave some power-packed information on insurance for your business, covering your employees. If you want to know more information about that, again, you're going to have to contact her. And toward the end of this show, we will give you an opportunity to share that contact information. In addition to that, her contact information is on the screen also right now, guys. So I wouldn't wait until the show ends. Go ahead and reach out to her now, so that you can
Yes.
basically be ahead of the game. You don't have to wait until the show ends. Contact her now.
Yes.
So we're going to delve into this fifth question. And this fifth question, really talks about an individual who's probably looking to get in started in the financial services industry, with regards to offering financial services, or if they may just want to offer life insurance. My opinion, I think you should offer financial and the life insurance aspect of it, so that you can be the Walmart of the industry and offer, plethora of services. or if you just want to kind of delve into like a specialty area, that's fine too. But Eva, just kind of talk to our audience today, let them know if they wanted to get started in the financial services industry with offering financial services or just insurance itself. Talk to them about, how they can get started. And I want you to kind of, there's a part two to this, kind of delve into it and let us know, is this a lucrative opportunity to make money in the financial services area?
Okay, it is 100% lucrative. Okay. And I say that being a stay-at-home mother with two kids of my own, I think the best candidates for this business are women because we know how to multitask very, very well. Not saying that men can't, right? And not saying men that can't. I'm not saying that men can't do the business. What I'm saying is, when I started in financial services, that was the reason why, was because I heard that it was very lucrative, and so it was. And so what makes financial services a very lucrative business is the fact that there's a demand for it at any time, whether the market is up, whether the market is down, whether the economy is up, whether the economy is down, whether there's no toilet paper, whether there's COVID, whether, things are going great and the president made everything just beautiful and the market is just booming. No matter what happens, the financial service industry is very lucrative and offers an opportunity for families, people of all ages, people of all colors, diversity, to be able to make an abundant amount of income. And most importantly, not just active income, but passive, right? What we call residual income. For me, I did not want to see my husband working for the rest of his life. I did not want to work in an active income for the rest of my life. So this is one of the biggest reasons why I chose this. I wanted to be able to see my kids grow up. I wanted to show up to their games. I wanted to show up to everything, every activities that they had. And unfortunately, at a job, I just didn't have the opportunity to do that. In financial services, whether you're active or passive, whether you're making residual or you have to, or you have to work in order to make money is what I mean. What happens is you're still able to see your children grow up. The beautiful thing about financial services is you can make a lot of money in a shorter period of time, right? So if I were to clock into, let's just say because I was a receptionist at my receptionist job prior, right? I know that I would make $20 an hour. There was a cap on my income, right? And I had to be there no matter what for a set amount of hours. Now, when it comes to this business, it allowed me to pick up the hours that I wanted. Once I sit down with a family, I'm able to make between 500 to 1,000 is usually what we see our part-timers make. And the beautiful thing is, if I don't want to do any more, or if I want to do much more, I have the option to do that. So I'm sitting, just made, let's say, $300 to $500 helping a family, right? It's not like I'm doing anything wrong. What I'm doing is making an impact in their lives. And then I'm able to turn around and say, baby, let's go play. I'm going to go cook dinner. I'm going to be a part of their life, right? So this is what my favorite question, Tyrone, because I love getting people to understand why financial services is one of the best businesses that you can get. I hear a lot of people talk about getting their real estate license, right? And I would say that having a life insurance and investment license is much, much, much more valuable than getting a real estate license. And I say that because the competition is not there. Everyone wants to be a real estate agent. It's very attractive. Life insurance and investments, it's not attractive to the ear right up front. But once you start to see the income come in, and once you start to see the impact that you make and how people's lives are changing before your eyes and how valuable it has, on a person's life, not only that, but how you're able to map out and walk through this journey with them, right? You see them start here and then all of a sudden they're up here and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we got the house we wanted because we stuck to the plan, and we got, the life insurance. My husband passed away and unfortunately that was horrible, but this is going to pay for my kids' college, and this is going to help me buy a house, and this is going to do this and that. And so it's one of the most beautiful things you could do is get into the financial service industry. And if you'd like to be a part of my team, you can reach out to me and I can share with you the steps on how to get started. And that way we can talk about mapping out what it is to be able to make an impact and, basically be lucrative in business, in the financial service industry. So yeah, I love it.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm just going to be blunt. I'm going to be blunt and tell you what she just told you. She said, look, if you're tired of trading hours for dollars and you want a passive income where you trade money for money, come see her. That's what she basically just told you guys. Okay. I heard it loud and clear.
Yes.
And the great thing about it is if you listen, she said that, look, I don't have to report to a boss to ask for time to go spend with my daughter or my husband or my family for that matter. She doesn't have to do that. She spelled that out. And she talked about the passive income. Look, if you're working a W-2 job, guys, right now, that W-2 job is your only source of income if you have nothing else coming in. Right now, if you have a passive income, you can create multiple income streams with that passive income, guys. Please, please to note, I heard her loud and clear when she talked about that area. In addition to that, she kind of touched bases on the tax advantages, right? If you look at the tax advantage of a W-2 employee versus the tax advantage of a 1099 employee, it's totally different. So, and I'm just going to she didn't say this, but I'm going to spell it out for you because I know about this particular area. So with a W-2 employee, Uncle Sam, the government, federal and state, they're going to get their money first and they're going to give you what's left over. So in essence, you're going to get the leftovers. But with a 1099 employee, what happens? The federal and state government gets the leftovers. So what happens? Eva will get her money first, right? Then, the expenses will come in, right? Then Uncle Sam and the actual state government will get what's left over. So that's the difference. On the employee side, employee gets the leftovers. On the 1099 side, the federal and state government gets the leftovers. So, ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to contact Eva. And Eva, how do individuals get in contact with you?
Yeah, so on Facebook, I do have a Facebook page for Siguil Finances. So you can type in our business name there and you will find our page. As well as we have an email. It is Siguil Organizations with an S at the end at gmail.com. And there's also a website that we could possibly link in the comments, if that's okay, for people to look and contact me through my Calendly if they're looking to directly contact me as well. I'm also on Instagram and I'm also on TikTok. You can just look me up as Eva Siguil, EVA, and then my last name, Siguil, Siguil.
Absolutely. Well, Eva, we really thank you for coming on today. The information that you shared was very powerful. We appreciate every bit of knowledge, every nugget that you share with us today, because it's going to help our audience, help us to really elevate ourselves and our businesses to the next level. So thank you very much for coming on. Loida, close us out.
Thank you so much. Yes. And I had to add that with that freedom that Eva was talking about with being in the financial services, she is able to spend time with her children. And on top of that, help her children build businesses. So that is just awesome. And I just want to congratulate her and all of those that are watching, congratulate you for making the decision to better your finances, better yourself as an individual, and continue to seek those solutions that are going to increase your wealth and the wealth not just of yourself, but of your pockets, of your bank accounts.
Yeah.
And so, yes, you guys, make sure that you have followed, liked, commented, shared this video. Make sure that you subscribe to iManagement Solutions on YouTube at IMGTSOL. And make sure that you follow all of us. Stay connected with us and continue to stay tuned because we've got some great guests coming up really, really soon. We're really excited. And if you would like to be a guest on our show, please reach out to us, send us an email message. You can comment on this video. And please, please make sure that you support this channel by subscribing. And also, if you would like, we do have donations, a donation link available, which will be in the description. So we appreciate everyone that has contributed to help keep this channel going. And we're really excited and happy to have had you today, Eva.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure.
Second.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Have a
You
great
too.
evening, everyone.